It's Reija, and it's time for another Top 5 Wednesday. Top 5 Wednesday is a Goodreads group that was created by Lainey from gingerreadslainey and is currently moderated by Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. All the links to the Goodreads group and the host channel are down in the description, so please be sure to check them out. And today's topic is books to be adapted into modern classics. So, for example, Clueless, the movie, was an adaptation of Emma by Jane Austen, and 10 Things I Hate About You was an adaptation of William Shakespeare's To Tame a Shrew. So that's what is meant by a modern adaptation. And here are the 5 books that I was thinking of when I thought of this topic. Please enjoy. First book I want to see a modern adaptation of is Wuthering Heights by Emily Brontë. I think this has a lot of that kind of angst and family feud and family drama and rival families and possibly some transgressive, incestuous undertones. Plus, this could very well be adapted as an interracial relationship between Heathcliff and Cathy, because from my reading at least, Heathcliff reads as some sort of minority group, as belonging to some sort of minority group. So I think Wuthering Heights would do very well as a sort of modern retelling, a kind of dark and twisty, possibly with grey and blue tones when you film it, kind of story. So yeah, I would really want to see possibly a movie of that. Next book I want to see a modern adaptation of is Jane Austen's Persuasion, and I would want to see an LGBTQI+ twist to it. For example, Wentworth's character could be a woman. So there you have that kind of classist and prejudiced way Anne's family deals with Anne's affection to Wentworth, which in the original is based on class differences, but in the modern adaptation it could be based on the fact that not only would the Wentworth character be of another class, of poorer social standing, she could also be a woman and therefore not something that Anne's family would want to associate with. And Anne's character could be either bisexual or closeted lesbian. That would be amazing. It could tackle topics of introversion, coming out, and finding acceptance, and being true to yourself and living your own truth. And I would very much like that kind of twist on Persuasion. And next one is Dracula. Dracula has been adapted into many a form, but I would like to see a modern adaptation, possibly a TV series that subverts the kind of Victorian tradition of suppressing female sexuality. It could tackle and subvert the undertones and overtones of foreign exotization and Orientalism. Well, not Orientalism, but you know how Dracula is othered and made this exotic being by being from the from Romania. And it could tackle topics such as immigration and reproductive rights and women's sexuality and all kinds of all manner of sexual orientations and gender identities. I think Dracula is ripe for the picking with those kinds of undertones, and I think a modern retelling would be a perfect way to tell Dracula's story. And then I have The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Now, I've already had the perfect adaptation of The Count of Monte Cristo, which is Gankutsuo, a science fiction space opera with a vampiric alien parasite taking possession of Edmond Dantes and giving him the power to be the Count of Monte Cristo. I mean, you should all watch Gankutsuo. It's basically the perfect adaptation of this when it comes to like themes, even while being kind of loose and playing fast with different characters and such. It's still an amazing adaptation of this book, and probably the best one I've seen, and I've seen many. But I would want a modern adaptation of Count of Monte Cristo set in the United States, because in the United States there's a huge rift between ethnic groups and people of color being incarcerated a lot more than white people. So in that sense, I would want Idris Elba to play Edmond Dantes, and I just think that it would be the perfect setting. In modern day America, a man gets condemned from a crime thanks to corruption from the judicial department, from the police and the court, and he gets condemned for a crime he didn't commit, and then escapes and finds riches and takes revenge. And I just think it would be amazing. And yeah, I think that would be a show I would watch if Idris Elba was starring in it. And the last classic I want to see adapted in a modern way is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I just think that, especially with the current social media culture and the kind of seeking validation from others, posting selfies, even making YouTube videos and such, is such a type of culture where someone like Dorian Gray, a socialite, a kind of narcissist, would thrive. And I just think that it would be a really cool twist on the story if he had like a picture of himself that doesn't age, and he's at the same time he's this famous like Instagram model or something. I don't know. It would just be fantastic to me to have a sort of modern retelling of Dorian Gray. And there you have it. These are the classics that I think should be adapted in a modern way. Tell me in the comments, do you agree with any of these? Do you want to see some of the books adapted into modern adaptations? What kind of story beats would you want to see? Do you like any of my ideas? Are there other books you'd want to see adapted? Tell me in the comments. I would be happy to have those conversations. I will see you in another video very soon. Bye bye!